Hello, Proxy Table Gaming fans and
Oh, yeah,
newcomers.
or not, as the case may be.
Yeah, I am Hyper G. I have shaved for the occasion.
I know.
Uh, this is Lucky Sixes,
I'll put
who hasn't
clothes on
shaved
for
for
the
the occasion.
occasion.
Well,
So,
yeah, I mean that's always a bonus.
yeah,
Well done with you for the effort.
yeah.
But
Although
it
some
feels
some
like
would say it's taking away some lure of our battle reports.
maybe yes. Well, comment. That's a great opportunity for us to comment. Do you
Don't.
prefer when? No, no. All right, okay, we'll move on. So yeah, this feels like a new beginning, doesn't it? Really, although we
It
have been
does.
doing this for some time, really. We're very used to giving out battle reports and telling you how badly we've played, and reveling in the mistakes that each other has made,
Yes, man.
and the master classes that our opponents are showing us. But this is different because this is the old world Warhammer. It's our
Yeah.
first battle report for the old world, isn't it?
Yes, it is, and we traditionally do it in a picture style. If anybody remembers Once Bitten, that's probably the best way of describing how
Yeah,
we do it. But there's two of us rather than one.
yeah,
We
yeah.
still don't match the intellect
No, I was going to say
of that.
combined.
Um,
Are we equal to once bitten? No,
However,
he's
yeah,
just the
for
man.
yeah, very much so. For new people joining us, that's what we do. We do, however, do what we call class as live action, what you're probably traditionally used to in the videos, and of course now we're doing Warhol battles as
Yeah.
well for a bit of online goodness as well. So yeah, very excited to get into this. This is the inaugural. Is that the word?
I guess
Inaugural
so.
battle
Yeah,
report
the first one. Yeah, makes sense.
for the old world. So
001. It's got a new number,
zero,
isn't it?
yeah, zero
Yeah.
zero one. So old comers welcome and newcomers welcome as we delve into the old world and our first battle, which is what that was my drum roll, by the way.
Oh, okay, it's very good. I mean, some classic tongue action. I
Yeah,
like it.
I know. I think for a second there I forgot we were being recorded, and I went like that. Anyway,
It's beautiful.
um, warriors versus dwarves. Of course, warriors of
Yeah.
chaos versus dwarven mountain holds.
Yes, indeed. That is their official title. And
Yeah.
yeah, because I mean, it is cool because I mean we originally started with Warhammer, then we have been with Ninth Age for a long time, and now we're going back to the old world alongside Ninth Age. And yeah, it's really cool looking at just old memories, really.
Yeah.
And
So so pretty
you
much
randomized your army, didn't
I
you, for
did.
this?
I had four. Pretty much from release, we were doing
Yeah.
lists and things and trying to
Yes.
work out what synergies there were and all those stuff. So I had four lists, one of which was the Warriors, and you had two, one of
I
which
had
was
to
Dwarves.
because I've only yeah. I mean, of our armies that we've been playing in Ninth Age, four of your armies have passed through to the old world as main
Yes.
books, proper books. Whereas for me, only two of them, because I've obviously lost Saurians, who are lizard men, not really a proper army in old world, and ogres, who are not really a proper army in old world. So I've lost them in terms of real army status. Um, so yeah, and then we randomized what we were going to be for our first battle, and you
Yeah.
got warriors, I got dwarfs. So yeah.
And I mean, just so everyone knows, we will be playing all the lists, so don't worry about
Mm.
that. So all the armies will get on the channel. So if you're interested in all
Yeah,
of them, happy days.
and we'll talk about it more when we talk about like old world generally, because this is mainly focused on the battle report side of things. But we're also not necessarily going to stick with me having some armies and you having some armies, are we? We're going to vary up all over the place.
Yeah,
So
man. Yeah, man.
yeah.
So let's get straight into it. Into
Mm.
the lists. The
Mm.
Warriors Chaos to start off with, and we start with a Chaos Lord with Enchanting Aura, which is incredible, by the way. Dropping your or losing first strike and dropping it you to last or strikes last. Um,
Yeah.
if you don't have
Initiative
that,
one.
yeah.
Yeah.
Poisonous Slime gives him poison. Attacks completely forgot throughout the whole battle. Spoiler, never did that once. Favor of the Gods, which allows me once to
You
re-roll.
did that once or twice.
Yeah. On the yeah, it allows you to re-roll once. Chaos Rune Sword +1 to lots of different stats. including strength and stuff. Full plate armor shield and Khorne to give him frenzy. Exalted champion BSB is Acidica, which is every time you do a wound to him, you take a strength 4 AP2, or AP -2, I should say. A demon sword, which is is the big F off sword in the game. Well, in the Warriors book. Heavy armor shield and Khorne as well. They go in a unit of chosen Chaos Warriors down there with Khorne halberds, full plate armor shields, champion standard, and rampaging banner, but no musician because we're trying to save points. To cap off the characters, we have a level 4 sorcerer on demonology. Diabolic Splendor gives him -1 to hit from shooting. Ruby Ring of Ruin for that extra missile goodness. Spell Familiar for another spell, so he's rocking 6 spells, which I very much like. And
Nice.
he's Nurgle, sitting in 13 Chaos Warrior Nurgle warriors with shields, champion standard, Banner of Rage. But the Banner of Rage keeps them frenzied, so they also have frenzy, but they can never lose it. And again, no musician because saving points. My core is Chaos Knights, Khorne Lances, Champion Standard, Razor Band Standard, which is an extra. It's Armor Bane 2, I believe.
Yeah.
On
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Razor Standard. Again, no musician saving points. I have 2 other single models then, Chimera with virtually all of the upgrades. I think the only one he's missing one. But I can't remember it.
Take that next time. Take it next time.
Yeah. Fiend Tails, extra attacks, Flame and Breath weapon, regen is regen. Gorbeast Chariot, and with Khorne to finish off. And that is my lot.
Yeah, and we're playing at 2,000 points, aren't we?
Yeah, going straight
bang
in.
on, which is great.
Straight in.
We still found it was quite small, didn't we? But perhaps we'll talk about that when we see
did,
deployment.
but yeah,
my army.
We will go, going on to deployment. And I mean, it said small, but we've got a lot of entries in this.
Yeah. So I went with a theme that was kind of accidental, really, as I started to build this Dwarven Mountain Holds list. Going from the top, I'm led by a king, who is my general. He's got runes, rune of stone. I can't remember what they're all called,
so
what they all do.
I couldn't fit it on the line, the amount of runes.
No.
Yet. So you've got Rune of Stone, Rune of Warding,
Rune of Warding,
Might,
Rune of Might,
Rune of Speed, Master Rune of Swiftness, and a Great Weapon.
Yeah, so it's easier to start off with the last 2 first of all, because Great Weapon gives you an extra 2 strength and an extra 2 armor. It's not armor piercing, whatever it is now. Armor something.
Penetration.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah.
Just say AP's fine.
Exactly. Yeah, and the Master Rune of Swiftness basically cancels out the strike last. So you strike first, strike last, cancel each other out. You're striking in your initiative. That's what those do. The Rune of Speed gives you an extra initiative, so he's really quick. Rune of Might gives you an extra strength without armor piercing or armor penetration. Rune of Warding gives you a 2-up ward save, one use only. Rune of Stone gives you a 1 reroll to your armor save. I think I remember that rightly. The Thane is just BSB, rocking the BSB, Rune of Stone for a reroll armor save, a pistol and a shield, pretty basic. Not a lot of defense or fanciness on him. Then I've got Rune Lord, who gives his unit that he joins Armor Bane 2, which is quite cool. He's wearing full plate armor and shield, so that'll give him a 3-up armor save. You've got the Master Rune of Calm, which is my only spell in the whole list. And that basically just will... Well, we'll see what it does when we see if we cast it.
Get to it.
But it just affects your opponent's spellcasting abilities, really. And I'm rocking a Rune of Spell Breaking because, hey, the spell scrolls are back in Old World. Well, they were never gone from Old World, but we didn't really have them in this form for the 9th Age. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. I've got a Dwarf Engineer to see how that works, and because of that, I've got an Organ Gun for him to rock alongside. Also, I had a really weird. I had like 146 points left when I'd made my list, and I just noticed randomly that Dragon Slayers for 73 points each. So I just chucked 2 Dragon Slayers in and didn't upgrade them or anything. Why not? My core is a unit of Longbeards, which you can have in core because I've got a King or a Thane, one or the other. I could have had another unit of Longboards, but that's fine. They've got shields, full command. I've got a unit of Rangers, which you are allowed to take in core. which is cool. They've got shields and brace of pistols on the champion. I've got 4 units of 5 Thunderers,
5
which
Thunderers.
this is mainly the accidental part. So I started with 2 units of 10, and then I was like reading the rules as I was making this list, and I was like, well, only the first rank shoots, and I was like, well, why don't I just split them into 4 units of 5, and then they can all
Exactly the
shoot
same.
always?
Yeah.
It's exactly the same points. So I did that. It's just hilarious, really. Baffling to me. But we'll see how that goes. I've got a big unit of Iron Breakers, 22 of them. They've got a 3-up armor save, so they're pretty bricky. They're rocking full command and a rune of battle for an extra combat resolution, +1. 8 miners with a champion and musician. They ambush. We'll see whether that comes to pass for me. Then I've got 2 units of Iron Drakes, 5 of them each, and each of the champions has a Trollhammer torpedo. And man, those look blooming good. I had to take 2 of them. That's why I started splitting out my shooting units, because again I started with 10, and I was like, well, I just want 2 Trollhammer torpedoes.
Well,
so, you know,
that as well, yeah.
Yeah.
So a very and you will see in deployment that it's very like spread out and things like that, and I've got very few. So it's a very interesting sort of setup, really. In terms of the battle, we did Battle of Pine Crags, which is also known as a flank attack. And we'll get into that after we've done the deployment stuff, because it's basically you pick a side, but we'll tell you about that. This is our setup. So
me looking very excited.
Behind here, actually, this is where.
Oh yes, it was.
We were.
It was
still kind
the
of
original
setup.
PTG den.
Yes. This is how we looked, really. So we had some cheat sheets out and all sorts helping us. But yeah, as our first battle, we expect to get things wrong. So if we do, just whack it in the comments. Let us know, because we're very keen to learn if we're doing things wrong and stuff like that. But for the most part, I think we did all right.
Yeah, I think so.
On to the deployment.
Yeah, we did. We followed the rulebook for the terrain setup, sort of. Where we just basically chose 6 terrain pieces, and then we just chose 3 each, deployed them one by one, kept more than 12 inches from the center, and then we randomly just decided to scatter them a little bit using the scatter dice, because we hadn't used scatter dice in ages. So yeah, this is how we ended up with terrain. It's probably easiest to say that the terrain doesn't really come into it in this battle. So we won't really be talking about the terrain much.
The main thing I noticed was it said that terrain shouldn't be in the middle 12-inch section.
Yeah.
Which is quite a big section, really. But yeah, that's my only... I think there might be some house rules to just create terrain so it's a more... But anyway, but for now, as you say, we did the rules. From my point of view, we have... So, Battle of Pine Crags is you can choose up to 33% to put in either of the flanks. But it's secret as well. So you deploy in the center what you want to deploy, and you go 1 for 1 or after a roll off, and then what you've got in reserve, you then go 3, 2, 1. I deployed on the left or right side, and then you go 1 for 1 and deploy those things once you've revealed. So in terms of our deployment zones, everything in the center we deployed, and then we both chose. As we're looking at it now, the left flank of the battlefield, so which is really cool.
It was fairly predictable, wasn't it? None of us were surprised at the other's choice. It just made sense that we would.
There's a hill in the other one, and I basically chose this side so you couldn't be all on a hill, and then that was it. Yeah. So warriors, left to right, have some Chaos Knights, a Chimera. A unit of my chosen warriors with both the general and BSB in, then some regular warriors, Nurgle with the sorcerer, to cap off a chariot. Nice and easy. Jobs are good.
Yeah. For me, I mean, we'll go right to left because go around in a circle. I had these rangers, 6 rangers who scouted. And scouting in the old world is 12 inches away. So I was able to literally put them 12 inches away from the Gore Beast out of the line of sight, so that he couldn't charge. Now, obviously, we hadn't at this point really worked out charge ranges or anything like that, but I just knew I needed to be out of line of sight. So those guys were just there. My plan with that was literally to, if the Gore Beast comes over, great, the Gore Beast is distracted for a little while. If he's not there, then I just shoot all game. So that was the thinking there. I've got a Dragon Slayer in front of the impassable goldfish terrain. Then I've got my first unit of Thunderers spread out 5 to the left of him. The Orkan Gun is behind with the Engineer sticking out the back. Another unit of Thunderers, then another Dragon Slayer on the white base, in between another unit of Thunderers. Behind that unit of Thunderers is the Iron Breakers, and they've got the King and the Thane BSB in them. Then the white shooting units of 5 on the left of the Iron Breakers is both of the Iron Drake units. So they're different to the Thunderers, and they're on white bases, painted slightly differently. Is how I differentiated. Then I've got the Longbeards, who were in my flank attack force, and they had the Rune Lord with them, which we soon work out was probably a little bit of an error on my part, but never mind, it is what it is. And then I got another unit of Thunderers just on the flank, looking to see how many of those chosen knights I can kill on the way in.
Yeah, absolutely. So, we were ready to go and raring to go, and then we took 20 minutes reading the rules about how we go. Really.
What do we do next?
Yeah, and it was Vanguard, and
oh yes,
you get to move your movement value, which is 3. So these had a lovely little Vanguard,
teeny little Vanguard. Yeah, I mean we're not used to that. We were all like, okay, a Vanguard. What does that mean? Oh, you just move your movement, and dwarves are 3 inches. Well, that ain't gonna get them anyway. Hey. But
so,
all right,
they're
we should say at this point, if we do anything wrong, we want to know.
Yeah, that's what.
So tell us in the comments. We are absolutely used to taking comments where people say, "Well, you did that wrong, idiot." We're used to that. I mean, you don't need to say idiot if you don't want to, but we would love to know.
It's fine.
We'd love to know if we got stuff wrong.
In fact, for this video, if every comment could have idiot in it, that would be great.
I mean, why not? So I 3-inch Vanguard. It felt a little bit inadequate, but hey.
Yeah. And then onto my turn, because I won the roll off. And to start off with, we do Gaze of the Gods. And this doesn't mean a lot at the minute, but then we look at the table and we roll, so we basically roll on it. And you basically, every turn, get a chance to, you may, and I don't see why you wouldn't, roll on this chart. And most of them are cumulative, some of them are to the end of the turn. But yeah, so my General and BSB rolled in tandem 6, getting
lucky sixes.
Lucky sixes from the start, baby.
Rolling
+1 strength and +1 leadership for the remainder of the game. That's pretty good. Not gonna lie.
This was the first point I said. It does what? What?
Not a bad start. And
for the rest of the game,
my shaman gets he's obviously been practicing with his staff or whatever, and gets +1 weapon skill as well. So yeah, cheers gods. Oh my goodness. Thanks for that.
Clearly in favour. Yeah.
Onto
didn't you re-roll? Didn't you use your re-roll?
So yes. So immediately, I say lucky sixes. Immediately, I rolled a 1 with my general to give him stupidity. Which I was like, all right, I'll just use the favour up now, and I got a 6. So it was 5 points well spent in my eyes. I've since realised as well you can put it on all your characters. So.
Oh, what was in duplicate that?
You can duplicate
that ability.
It.
Is it?
It's a common, it's a super. One
so you can avoid your first one.
So
basically.
I mean, I'm not
only
telling
one
you
is
guys. I'm not telling you guys what to do, but 5 points.
Yeah.
Onto the magic part.
There isn't a magic phase.
There isn't magic. No, but there is some magic.
The conveyance, the first one.
Cast. I don't know actually what it's.
Can't remember. That's all right. I'll get it.
I'm gonna do it.
Oh, you got your little cheat sheet.
So in the strategy phase, these are hex and enchantments that can be cast, and here are the spells that were cast. You roll 2d6 and add your wizard level. You were not within range,
No,
So
this is where we realised my potential error with the Rune Lord being in my
yeah,
flanking force. Because irrespective of where you deployed your wizard, and you deployed him a long way away from my flanking force, I couldn't get close with my Rune Lord. So I basically just
yeah.
had one fated dispel each turn for the first couple of turns until I got in range of your
Yeah,
wizard,
which of
etc.
course you don't add your wizard level 2 at all as well. So
No.
I was getting
Mm.
spells off left, right, and center to start off with,
Mm.
which is very nice. And we got demonic vigor, which gives them +1 movement, and also toughness. I
Yeah.
thought at this point it lasted your turn, but it's only until the end of my turn. So it
Yes.
was
Not the
largely
full
irrelevant.
round. Yeah.
Largely irrelevant,
Mm.
but nice to cast it anyway. And then I
Yeah.
got Steed of Shadows, which gives me flying 12, which is very, very
Mm.
nice. And of course, this is before the movement phase, so that was very, very handy
Yes. So
on
you could
them.
potentially March 24 if you wanted to.
Yes, I could. But what it did do is it meant I could move more than the 4. And
Hmm.
so I moved. I didn't move the full 12, but I moved more than. I think I moved like 8 or 9. So that I was now
Mm.
in range of both the Rangers on the right
Yeah.
and the Dragon Slayer, Dragon Slayer
Yeah.
ahead of me with both my magic missiles to come later.
Hmm. Yeah.
Otherwise, the rest of my movement was just to move up, like so. Pretty tentative, nothing much in too much, not being too aggressive, but getting in ranges for some charges where I could.
Mm.
Over to magic missiles, and I rolled with a double 6 lucky sixes, baby. So I double 6 it with perfection, and it
I
can't be
see.
dispelled.
All
And
right. Okay. Yeah.
yeah, we move on to the dwarves. Movement turn 1, and you move
Yeah.
up with your dragon slayers.
Yes. I didn't have any conveyance spells. I think they're called conveyance spells, aren't they, in the first magic phase? So I went straight on to my movement phase. You can see how much I moved with all my units.
That was yeah,
Basically, it was a case of Dragon Slayers moving forwards. They could run 6 inches, and the Rangers moved sideways. We had a good talk about the Rangers' movement, didn't we? Because they had throwing axes, which meant they had quick to shoot, quick shot as a
quick
special
shot.
rule. And if I were to be within 3 inches of the chariot, then the
Mm.
chariot wouldn't get impact hits. I did fail a march tech on those rangers,
So you can
which
get
is
out of
why
range.
I didn't have a choice of being out of line of sight. If I'd have actually marched, then I could have got out of line of sight and not needed to worry about quick shot or anything like that. And I could have just kept the Gorbies busy a bit longer. But I did fail my discipline, my leadership check on marching, which is why I had to just take it. And so
Yeah,
that those Rangers weren't going to be quite as effective as I would have liked them to be, because the Gorbies were just going to run them down.
but yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, moved up
Elsewise,
close
the
to me though.
Longbeards just moved back an inch and a half with their little tiny little legs to give you a bit longer to go for your Chimera. But
Yeah,
other than that, yeah, I was just getting ready to shoot. Load, lads. Here they come.
and organ gun turns up first turn.
Yeah. Yeah, Organ Gun, really cool. Loved using the artillery dice. The engineer being nearby allows me to re-roll one of the artillery dice or re-roll ones to hit. And you only have to declare that usage after you see the dice.
Yeah,
So I didn't roll a misfire on my artillery dice in this turn. So that meant I was re-rolling my ones to hit. And all combined, that meant I killed 4 of your dudes, which
yeah, it's
is
very
a great
nice.
start. I mean, nearly halving the unit. I was very happy with
Yeah,
that. I mean,
and it was at
I
this
couldn't really
point that I
complain.
realised. It was this
Oh,
point
go
I
on.
realised that the toughness didn't apply this turn. I was so happy. I was like,
Yes.
yes, +1. Ah,
Yeah. And I think we also forgot that you were -1 to hit. I was -1 to hit
yeah,
on this turn.
yeah.
So I
So good.
possibly killed more than I should have done. Or did you put
But
one back? I think
you
you put
rolled
one back.
pretty. Yeah, you
Yeah.
rolled pretty hot, so it's all good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
And the Thunderers, however, did no wounds on that side. So they didn't help
no,
at
it
all.
was just
The
the
organ gun.
organ gun. Yeah, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. The Thunderers on this side killed a Chaos Knight. Chosen Knight, Chaos Knight. I didn't quite remember what they're called.
Chaos. These aren't the chosen
Chaos Knight.
variety.
Yeah. Oh, we should mention about base sizes. We're using our base sizes of our models at the moment, so don't worry about that, folks. That's just what we've got.
Just so we can get some games in to show you. That's why it is.
Yeah.
Action
shot there. There's dice on the roll.
I know. That swiftly took us onto this turn, and this is the longest possible turn charge I have. So
and because you're frenzied with Khorne, you have to charge, right?
I have to charge, so I do.
I kind of baited this by putting the Dragon Slayer there.
Yeah, you made me do it, so absolutely you can do that. My chariot comes into here, which I should say, I also got Gathering Darkness to put a -2 modifier on their leadership. Again, just because I could, so I did. Yeah. There was no reason not to. But I charge in there. I won't get my impact hits because it's less than 3 inches, but and you won't get your standard shoot. Oh no, you did, and you got 1.
I did because a quick shot. Yeah,
that's what that wound is.
I did 1 wound. Yeah, because I was using the throwing axes.
Yeah, I charge over here, and you plink off another one as well. Again, this is a max, I think, or very, very close to max charge. These guys don't quite get in, and from Gaze of the Gods, you can see they get a +1 toughness until the start of my next subturn phase, so they will get the +1 toughness, but then it will go. It's not a remainder of the game thing.
Yeah.
Over here, I failed this as well. So stumble.
I don't think this was a max charge. I think you needed a 4 on one of the dice, on one of the charge dice, and you didn't get it. I think you were unlucky with this one.
Yeah. Either way, I didn't get it, so you can plink off some more, hopefully.
Because charge dice work slightly different to what we used to. You roll 2 dice, but then with Swift Stride, you get an additional dice of movement, and you take the highest of the 2 dice and your Swift Stride dice and your movement to see if you can get in. And if you don't get in, you just take your the highest of the 2 dice you rolled. That's how that works.
Absolutely. This is just showing the Steed of Shadows that I get cast on these guys to give them the movement again. Just basically so that my sorcerer could move quite freely and do his missiles, because obviously you can't march and shoot, and that counts for missiles as well. So he was just constantly casting this amazing spell on them, so that he could get into range of things. He also got an extra attack on the Gaze of the Gods as well through. So that's nice. And number 5, Dark Fury.
I think I must have made you reread it about 5 times. You get that every turn.
Every turn, baby.
Yeah. We quickly realised we're going to need to have some little tokens to indicate
tokens.
Just dice behind models. But
I moved up with a Chimera and did a bit of flamey goodness because you can do this every turn. And I killed one. I killed one Iron Drake, so that was cool. Over here, I cast the summoning that gets dispelled with your Rune of Spellbreaking.
But interestingly, because my Rune Lord was still out of range of your wizard, I had to use my Fated Dispel in order to do the Dispel, the Rune of Spellbreaking.
So it takes up your Fated
Dispel. Which is a really
Dispel,
cool mechanic. Yeah.
Or a Wizardly Dispel attempt.
So I couldn't dispel anything else the whole turn. So.
Which unfortunately meant I could still do a Fireball, get it off, and I thankfully killed him. So
this is the realization when I was like, we're used to just having characters who all have 3 HP, and now it's in the old world, like some have got 2 HP or 2 wounds, some have got 3, and the Dragon Slayers just had 2. So he was actually quite squishy to a magic missile, and he went down pretty easily.
I go in, I make short work, that is a pun, on these guys, and fail my restrain check, and because of things, have to overrun, we believe, and end up there, completely out of the battle.
We think turns. So. Yeah. But you do kill the Rangers. So.
But I killed the Rangers, so it's all good on that front. And this is how it kind of ends up at the end of the turn. And also continues for Dwarf movement. They are staying stubborn as you like.
Absolutely. I think in my turn 1 as well, my Trollhammer torpedoes, only one of them hit your Chimera and you regeneration saved it, which is why the Chimera didn't take any wounds in my turn 1. So and that was even though my Iron Drakes had flaming attacks, it doesn't take your regeneration save away.
No, because I don't have
which,
flammable. You need regen and flammable
in order for
for
flaming
flaming
attacks to take
attacks
them
to
away.
take it away.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I was quite happy with my position. I mean, I have moved the Dragon Slayer in front of your chosen. You can just about see him hiding behind the standard on
Behind the
your unit.
standard, yeah.
That was to make the most of the fact that you failed the charge originally. Now I'm just saying, well, I've stopped you getting nearer to me, and now I'm just going to hold you up. And we did shout speed bump to Dragon Slayer because that's pretty much what he is. You know, if he can cause some damage on the way through, brilliant, but probably not. Other than that, I was happy with my Iron Drakes where they were and my Thunderers where they were. I didn't feel the need to change anything up just yet. I think the Longbeards moved an inch and a half backwards again, so that your Knights couldn't charge them very easily, giving them only really one choice of going into the Thunderers. And the Thunderers just stood firm and said, "Yeah, we're probably going to die, but we'll see what happens if we charge that." Oh,
This
the organ gun!
So, and the reason we took a picture of this is because we then remembered that I have -1 to hit.
-1 to
I was
hit.
like, oh, by the
Yeah.
way, and I was all smacking like smoke. By the way, you're -1 to hit on this unit. So you rolled, and all of your attacks, you rolled that many fives.
Yes, I was hitting on fives and
Incredible.
re-rolling ones. And yeah, it was amazing. The one that I re-rolled was a 1, so I didn't benefit from that. But yeah, what a result from the Northern
Yeah, it's
gun.
incredible.
Getting
And
9 hits on 5 ups.
yeah, amazing. And death ensued.
It did.
With the woundage as well. Obviously wounded on 2s, I think, with them. But yeah,
I think so. Yeah,
maybe 3s or 2s. Either way, death happened. I'm frenzied, so I passed all the panic and stuff. I think there's this thing actually, but I can't remember. But I might not be frenzy, but I think I'm passing from somewhere else. And troll hammers, baby.
Yeah, well, this was just one Trollhammer torpedo that got through. Everything else didn't get through or didn't matter. This is one Trollhammer torpedo that did D3 wounds and did 3. I mean, amazing. They're so good. They're strength 8. What the heck?
I mean, it's
so
not just Trollhammer, is
on a
it?
2.
Yeah.
No, exactly. Yeah, Chimera Hammer. There you go. So that pops off 3 of his 4 wounds, really neutering his effectiveness.
Absolutely.
And then I think we were back into your turn, were we?
Yeah, back onto my turn. And Gaze of the Gods. My BSB super leadership boy now with the Gaze of the Gods. I think I've got it here yet. So he rolls a 6 to get another +1 strength and leadership. My
every turn.
Every turn.
I just had that on repeat.
Rolls more toughness for time, and so does my shaman. So yeah, happy days. Got demonic vigor off on this unit to give them an extra movement, but toughness as well, going against the demon slayer, and initiative. While I got the demonic shadows off on the now very small unit of warriors and shaman.
Yeah.
We charge in, as you say.
Obviously. Yeah.
And get
absolutely.
in. Obviously.
Yeah, there was no dispute in that one.
Take the long charge because I don't want to get standing shot or anything like that, and see if I can get in there. And thankfully I do. So we get a long charge, and we see what cavalry versus a block is. We're very interested. This is our first major combat. If you take away the demon, the dragon.
Exactly. You probably whether you notice or not, because if you're not familiar with our models, especially me using dwarf models, my Rune Lord has now moved. He spent 2 turns moving over to my Ironbreakers unit. He's now in the middle of the Ironbreakers unit. So actually, that would have. I was doing that to get in range of your magic caster. But now that the Knights, the Chaos Knights, have gone into my Longbeards, I could really do with that Armor Bane too. So the Longbeards won't have that. So yeah, that's one way or the other. We're going to see how it worked out.
This is showing the demonic shadows movement at the end. Basically, move into your left flank, but right as we look at the table, to get in range of Organ Gun and those Thunderers and see what I can do there with some magic missiles later on. This is the overall table. You can see the chariot desperately trying to get back in the game and wheeling around to face
hard wheel
to face the rest of the battle and hopefully get there soon. So we shall see. We shall see what he does. Otherwise, that's the rest of the movement. And
the Chimera didn't charge, did it? It wanted to set up
charge
because you only had 1 wound left on it.
Yeah, yeah. I want to keep using this breast weapon where possible. Over here, I cast magic missile and get 2 wounds off the organ gun. Not quite the 3 needed though. So
No.
very close. But
Toughness
it's
7, so it's
toughness
pretty
7,
tough.
so, yeah. I perhaps should have gone for the engineer. Actually, might have been a better idea. But hey.
Maybe.
Over here, I only do 1. So you challenge my
It
super
had to be
sword,
done.
super buffed up guy. Does 1 wound to you.
Except, yeah, I had no saves or anything. I literally was rocking toughness 5, and
yeah,
you just rolled a load of ones.
just
Yeah.
just incredible. So we do 1 wound. You're unbreakable. So you give ground, and we move back 2 inches and fight again.
Yeah,
Essentially.
that was the first time we figured out what give ground, falling back in good order, all that lot. It was good. It was a nice little, easy enough demonstration of what we do.
Over here, my guys go in and do 4 wounds to you, and your single guy, because there is no step up, attacks back and doesn't do a wound, which means you end up holding and passing your break test on the modified leadership, which means again we go back 2 inches and pushing you towards that board edge.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, this was the first experience of like not having the attacks after you've killed them, because the others are scrambling forward and don't attack in time.
Yeah, in Dwarf turn 3 movement, there are no charges, but you move around like so.
Yeah, I basically, because my Thunderers have got a reprieve on the left hand side that they hadn't been charged by the Chaos Knights. They marched as far as possible to try and get into the action and do some shots in the following turns. I moved my Iron Drakes like without any care to finish off your Chimera, hopefully. And the King left the Iron Breakers to be ready for a flank charge on the Chaos Knights. The thinking behind that was that if you kill the 4 on the charge, you might kill less in the next turn. If I just can keep holding for 2 more turns, then my King can charge into the flank of the Chaos Knights, and he's built for combat, so he might be able to actually turn the tide, and I won't lose my long bits. That was the thinking behind that. And I wasn't planning on getting the Iron Breakers in combat anytime soon, because Speed Bump was still alive. So that's now officially his name. In the other action, the Thunderers that were closest to your warriors marched past them to get out of their line of sight, and just to cause problems, and maybe to shoot the chariot in the next turn. Another Thunderers wheeled, because I wanted to experience what Ponderous was all about, i.e. getting minus penalties to hit after moving on the dwarf weapons. And the organ gun was just ready to open up on these last couple of warriors, hoping that I can eradicate the unit. So that was the most dwarf movement I've done ever.
Yeah, but eradicate you do not.
I do not, because I rolled a misfire on one of my artillery dice, and then I re-rolled it using the engineer ability and rolled a misfire. So I didn't have many shots. No, sorry,
extra to hit.
I didn't have many shots, but I was hitting on 6s. Which obviously,
only killed 1, which means the champion is still alive, but of course the standard is gone.
Yeah, and the Thunderers that wheeled round couldn't do anything as well. I don't think the Thunderers, other than the Chaos Knights, I don't think the Thunderers have actually killed anyone. The Iron Drakes do the job on the Chimera, so that was fantastic. Well done, them.
That Chimera is a sad panda.
Yeah, regen just didn't hold up enough.
And I do less. I do 3, but it's with no response again. So you move back, and it's at this point we go, how many inches away from the board edge?
Yeah, really getting close to the board edge. Probably now's a good time to mention the miners who are just in the back of that picture. They have not ambushed on yet. I think it's only like turn 3 coming up. This was my turn 2, I think, actually. So I might have only missed 1 chance. But still. I
finish you off, and we work out, and this is a rules question. This is my other game brains thing. Because I've wiped out the unit, we get a free overrun. Which is a 2d6, and I get to where I am with my turn next. So we think that's right. Let us know if it's not. But otherwise the BSB does actually do some damage.
This time,
I
yeah.
take this charge because I think I need like a 3 or a 4
Mm.
to get in, but yeah. So let's go. I get these spells off. So dim unit vessel to give them +1 strength and attack. So that's quite cool. But also gathering darkness on. I put it on this unit because I wanted to see. I had lots of choices and I wanted to see who to put it on. So I put it there. I also get toughness for the shamans for 1 turn. For the shaman's gaze of the gods. So that would be useful if I get in. Over here, I charge the Iron Drakes, and you flee all the way through everything.
Yeah, I
And off the
weighed up
board.
the options, and I couldn't not go off the board. There was a time when we thought that fleeing was only the highest of 1d6 and then
But
-1
it's
for the
2.
dwarf rule, but it's actually 2, and that's what we played, thankfully, after doing some reading. And
Yeah.
yeah, these guys fled off, and that the idea behind that was that it was just forcing you to redirect into someone else and maybe slow you down a bit more.
And redirect I did. And once
Mm.
again, you flee. And you flee
I did,
through the organ gun and engineer.
and the
Organ
engineer.
gun passing his thing, but the engineer not so
No,
lucky.
no, he's had enough. That organ gun misfired, and he didn't have time to fix it. But yeah, I was
Yeah.
running with the engineer as well.
And he
So
goes from
that's from the
the
closest enemy.
closest, which is at this point the sorcerer.
Hmm. Yeah.
And unfortunately for me, the sorcerer doesn't get in. I think
No.
actually it was quite a large, it was a quite high one. I think it was a 5 or a 6 needed there.
Yeah.
And because I've redirected once, I can't redirect a redirect. So I am stumbling forwards with my chosen warriors in the center.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it. Mm-hmm.
And that pretty much, apart from the chariot finally getting back
Moving
into
up.
the action, that is turn 4 movement.
Yeah, because
Over.
of the hard wheel, it was surprisingly quickly that the chariot got back actually. So
Yeah, because he, again, as far as we know, he has a march.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
the chariots never used to march before, but they do now. So that's great. I continue the consistency, and the exact same thing happens. You pass, you give ground. You're still on the board because I've killed that last
Yeah.
those ranks, and the counter charge is set up. By no means a given for dwarves though, but it is
No,
set
they're
up.
only movement 3, so I think I needed like a 4 to charge successfully.
Yeah.
On one of the 2 dice. But yeah.
Over here, this is I think showing.
Oh, I finally get the Master Rune of Calm in effect.
Yes.
Because my Rune Lord is now within range of your wizard. The Master Rune of Calm basically just adds 2 to all the casting value of all your spells, so it just makes them harder to successfully cast. So the fact that I was only really able to start doing that in my turn 3 was a little bit annoying, but that's just experience. And obviously, I'll get
Well,
better.
you were attempting it before, but it was on an 11 plus and it only +2, so you just weren't getting it because it's 36 inches. So this just made it a lot easier to cast.
Yeah.
In other news, your guys do rally.
They did.
Yeah, not great before that though. And there are some charges.
Yeah, I decided to go for this. I didn't really think long about whether or not it was going to work out in my favor or not, because that chosen unit is unwounded. Like, it's completely at high strength, plus the extra favor dice, your Gaze of the Gods dice. So I didn't really know if this was a good charge to make or not. And I was sitting on that defended obstacle, whatever they call it, potentially to take a charge from you. But yeah, I decided to go for it and see what happens, because my Iron Breaker's a 3-up armor. I wanted to see. I also wanted to see how we'd complete the charge in this situation, where I've got one unit in front of the other. What would happen? Yeah. And obviously the King charges into the flank of the Chaos Knights, because that was always what I was planning, and my Longbeards had done well to hold that long.
Yeah, and in terms of this is how they started, and this is how we finished. So we decided that the best way and the shortest way to get them both in was like this.
Yeah. And I rolled the 2 dice for each of them for their charges, and one of those dice for each of the units was 6.
Yeah.
So that was why we were pretty confident this was okay.
All the movement in the world. Yeah.
We would massively appreciate if anyone thinks that we've done this wrong, and go back to the one before. Yeah. Do you think that this is impossible? Basically, the Thunderers have moved 9 inches, or been able to move 9 inches. The guys behind have been able to move 9 inches. We think that is the right resolution, but let us know if we've missed something obvious there.
Yeah, for sure.
And
So
would be really
you,
interested.
you can see the next round of Gaze the Gods from the previous turn as well. I think my general has an extra weapon skill, and my BSB gains stupid for not being able to kill the Dragon Slayer.
You're now
That's why
stupid.
he's stupid. The gods went, "You're a stupid idiot."
You stupid idiot.
So yeah.
Absolutely.
Over here, shooting. You choose to go against the chariot this time.
I think no, the Thunderers. The Thunderers in front shot the chariot. They basically they could choose whether to move or to just try and take some shots on the chariot. I think it did 1 wound. The organ gun did nothing to your unit. I didn't have the engineer in range. I don't think. Oh no, maybe I did. But it did nothing to the unit. I remember this one being a bit of a disappointing one.
Yeah.
I think
I saved a bunch as well.
You saved a load of them, but you know that's what happens sometimes.
Yeah.
Over here, this was weird. This was so weird. I was so looking forward. I was like, the king was shouting over to them, saying, "Just hold, lads, until I get there. Hold!" And my king charged in, and he didn't do any wounds. I'd built him for strength 5, I think. Armor piercing or armor penetration was the problem. You basically just had armor still, and I didn't hit very well or wound very well. And so, yeah, the king didn't kill anyone, and I lost 1 more Longbeard, which was just odd.
Yeah, it was. However, still, my guys don't like being charged, it seems, and they fled. From you, I'm going to go back ever so slightly just again for people where this might be their first turn as well. Because I'm charged on 2 flanks, I turn so that I face both and almost go diagonally from them. Away from the 2 combats or the 2 enemies.
I'm just trying to work out the combat res because you didn't lose by much, but you just failed a break test, didn't you?
I had a standard and 1 wound. You had a flank and a standard and a musician.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, we drew, and I had a musician, so I won combat, which meant you had to take a break test. You rolled really high on your break test, which meant you fled. Then we went in that direction. And then you had to do
went through some
perilous tests.
Where I went through these guys and took some death. And
so the Thunderers actually killed 4 chosen Chaos Knights.
They did.
The king killed none because I didn't run after you and catch you, so you got away. But you had Swift Strike to add to that. So
I did. Over in this combat, I kill. So this I think we did wrong because.
Right.
My general, your BSB was on the corner, and I went against your BSB.
Left corner.
Now we've since realised that it's only in base contact, but it would have meant that your guy couldn't have attacked. So for this purposes, we're just saying he moved so that he could be against my.
I think he still could have attacked because he was in the fight.
Yeah. So I don't know.
I could attack you, but you couldn't target me directly.
Yeah,
but.
Yeah. So we did this
wrong. You slaughtered him.
For sure. Because my general went and put all his attacks on the BSB, killed him, and that was it. The rest of my attacks do. I think I killed 1 or 2 of the Thunderers, and then killed 3 of the Iron Breakers. Oh no, yeah, it looks like 1. Yeah,
it's only one. Only one Iron Breaker. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you go back and do 4 to me. I think one of them actually was my demonic. BSB did 1 to it myself there as well.
Yes,
because 1s to hit have to go against your own unit. But yeah, all said and done, I get wounds for the BSB. I've also got a standard and a BSB as well, and I end up winning. But you hold, and we continue on there. But over to my turn, and these guys, they've had enough. They've lost once. They can dish it out, but they cannot take it.
Nope.
And they're off the board and done.
They've gone off to learn the recorder, haven't they?
Yes.
They need a musician next time.
They do. Over here, this is just to show you the Gathering Darkness, because it's actually quite important in this, because I get it off on the Iron Breakers despite the -2 to casting.
Yeah.
Whatever it is from the Dwarves and the magic resistance. So a really good roll there. However, I don't get a really good roll with their really close charge. I roll double 1s to charge with the things into the organ gun, which means I don't do anything, which is Oh, they just they got so lucky not to die, and then they do
Yeah.
that.
And of course,
Chariot.
that meant that you couldn't cast your missiles because you failed to charge,
Yes, yeah, correct.
which was pretty important for the organ gun's one wound
Yeah.
remaining.
Yes, so my chariot does go in though, and finally gets in on. I think this is turn 5. Yeah, let's go.
Mm.
And he kills them and rolls like double, like 11.
Yeah.
Well, loads. And let's go. And he goes into
Yeah,
the other
those Thunderers
Thunderers.
have just rallied and they're like, okay, right, we're back in the game. Oh,
Yeah.
crap.
Ah!
What the heck is that?
Yeah.
Yeah, no stand shoot to that.
But yeah, so Chariot finally in the game, wrecking all these little units there.
Mm.
And in what is one of the pivotal moments of the battle, my guys just absolutely go to town on the units. I kill 2 of the 3 Thunderers. I think I kill the Rune Lord that is on the side.
I think did I issue a challenge to your BSB?
Yeah, I think so. And he just absolutely wrecks face. You can see some Gaze of the Gods there, so I get an extra weapon skill on the general, an extra attack on the BSB, and just all in, going first and everything. I do 4 wounds to the Ironbreakers, kill the Rune Lord, 2 wounds to them, 2 reply again. I think one of them was me.
Yes,
and,
I'm sure it was.
You with the -2.
I didn't have any attacks back.
No attacks back. -2 leadership. You break. I run you down. And overrun 11.
Yeah.
And we call it there. This is the last picture of the battle at the end of my turn 5. We go, well,
we kind of ran out of time with this one, didn't we? So that was why we called it here. We would have completed it to a full, but time just got away with us. My ambushers did come on next turn because we kind of like talked out what would happen, didn't we, for the rest of it? My ambushers came on. Whether I put them in the way of the chosen or not, we didn't really think about it much. But yeah, we just sort of paused it there and sort of saw how the battle ended up.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of dwarfs that have gone down. So
yeah, a lot of dwarfs have gone down. Still some left on the board and things as well. But over to the points, and it is a surprise. I got a surprising amount of points for this because of the BSB going down, so it was his points plus an extra 50 for standard. Got an extra 50 from the Iron Breakers, who are already nearly 400 points as well on that, and everything else just kind of totted up as well. Obviously, didn't get the organ gun or the engineer, and things like that. But yeah, it was a.
I didn't get any points for the warriors, did I?
Because you did. You got for the similarly, I got some points for the Longbeards. If you're under 25% of your original, you get 25% of the points. So it wasn't much. You got 61 points for my warriors, who were 241.
I got your Chaos Knights and your Chimera were the only other points I got.
Yeah. So so all in all, really fun battle. But that literally the last combat of the game really swung it heavily.
It was a clear demonstration the Ironbreakers really shouldn't have been charging in there because they didn't come close to winning, and that was, I mean, I was down to initiative 1, but that wasn't even really a reason why I was attacking last and just not attacking. So this was a real demonstration of like not getting step up and just getting bullied by the unit that comes in that is quicker than you and is able to kill you, because my 3-up armor save didn't really hold up well at all. And because I charged with Thunderers, you were killing them without the 3-up armor save, and that was doing the job as well. So yeah, this was a real good learning curve for how combat works, because I think there were a few things that we did that probably won't do again.
It's good, but good battle, and ended up, because it was double, a crushing victory to the Warriors. So crushing. So yeah, loads of fun stuff, loads of cool things happens. Quite a nice icebreaker, I think, getting into it. It was fairly simple and straightforward. We really enjoyed it, had lots of fun, and we hope you did too.
So let us know in the comments what you thought of that battle, that old world battle. Are you excited to be seeing Old World on PTG channel? We are. And let us know what your thoughts are for the future old world games and list building. Any tips you got, etc.
Absolutely. And if you're new to the channel, we want to hear from you as well. We've typically had loads of really good people to reply to in the comments, and loads of comments to do that as well. So get involved. Hit like, share, subscribe as always on all the things YouTube based. We are on Twitter, or X as the youth of today call it, Facebook, and Patreon if you're that way inclined as well. We're doing a few more bits with Patreoners as well, so get involved in that. We're on Warhol as well, using that online, so if you fancy a game, hit us up through one of the comments or one of the other means of social media in this day and age.
Yeah, we're everywhere now. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. Really good first old world battle, and I'm looking forward to the next one already, which hopefully won't be too far away.
No,
we've got more armies, more lists written that we need to play.
More lists, more armies, more excitement, and more old world. So we'll leave it there, and until next time, see you later.